Okay, hi. Hi. Um,
Yeah, oh my God. Are we live? We're live, aren't we?
we are. um, so here I am again with another fantastic person who's decided to join me in my strange project called Stories of Our Lives, and we're gonna basically talk about some of these stories, and I'm gonna share a bit, and Anthony's gonna share a bit. Yeah, this is a fantastic person I met a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, called Antony Fitzgerald. Hello, Anthony.
Hello there. Hi. Hi there. Hi, Frank.
And we've met once, and we chatted for about, I don't know, an hour maybe. And Anthony's just an amazing character. And again, when I was making a list of people to talk to, that list consisted of very, many different types of people, some family members, and but there were people like Anthony that I'd literally met one time, but Anthony is just this amazing character, and just an incredibly
Oh my God.
kind human being that you just want to talk to. You just want to talk to this guy more and more, because he just has such a fantastic heart. And your name was right down on the list, and yeah,
Oh,
I'm
thank
quite
you.
old now. I'm quite old now, so I know a few people. When but, I had your name
Oh,
down.
well, you're not older than me.
So listen. I'm so pleased that we managed to hook up and exchange messages, and we're here now, and that's really great. So so
Yeah.
you know. And as you know, we've exchanged a few messages about what this is. I don't really know what it is. It's just my attempt to talk to people about just who they are and how their stories work out. So
Uh,
we met about a year and a half ago, and we had a fantastic conversation about. And I'm just going to dive in here because,
sure. Go for it.
yeah, we're about the same age, and Anthony's just out there, and he's just like a fantastic, inspirational kind of, you know, it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or how old you are. You can absolutely take it to the bridge, as they say. You know what I mean? You can get out there and do stuff and be exceptional. um, Anthony, can when you hear that, um,
Uh-huh.
first of all, can you speak into how that feels? I mean, I'm not, trying to embarrass you or anything, but, and then just kind of maybe from that, can you lead into, what you do and what you're doing, and this fantastic career that you have, which is absolutely brilliant.
Oh God, well, I'm totally humbled. And it's not like I mean, I don't feel necessarily inspirational or I don't particularly feel like I'm doing anything that's exceptional or new or anything like that. I'm just being me.
Brilliant.
I see there's an opportunity for change, and I'm going for it because I feel like I have nothing to lose.
I love
So
that.
as you know, I model and I act occasionally as well. I've done
Yeah.
about 5 films, and in them I dance sometimes as well. I get paid to dance, can you believe it? At my but primarily I'm a model. And of course, I do some extra work as well sometimes as well. And
Sure.
I sort of got to that point where I was doing something other things that was completely different. I was teaching English. I did that for 9 years. I was in PR and marketing, and I did that for 11 years. It was 20 years of a completely different career path, and it was all about what I was saying. People actually listened to what I had to say, and it was really interesting to do something like modeling, which is very much to do with the visual, and it was more to do, yeah, it was about the pictures that I was putting out there, and I realized that it was really powerful. I realized that there was an opportunity here to change people's perception of what it is to be, and I say it in inverted commas, old. I'm like you. I'm over 50.
I
Am
mean,
I allowed
this
to
is,
say that?
yeah, absolutely. No, this is brilliant. This is so brilliant, and that you've just nailed it without me even saying what nailing the subject there, and you've kind of, this is back to that conversation we had like a year and a half ago. I think it is that sense that, you know, of being whatever it is, whether you're 35 and you feel bad about it, or like us, we're kind of 50, and you know, you're moving up, aren't you? You're struggling maybe, or maybe you're not, but you know, you're dealing with what that means psychologically. And I want you to, if you could, Anthony, I want you to talk us through that change from doing something, as you say, so different, which is very cerebral and everything, to doing something which is very kind of objectified and sort of, it seems from the outside. How did that happen? What was the process for you to change?
It was literally, I mean, it wasn't anything glamorous at all. It was literally, it's so strange. You get to a certain age, like that magic number 50, and people think that you're washed up. And I was applying for the kind of jobs that I'd done in the past, and I wasn't even getting interviews. And then I just got to a point where I felt like it was a backward step. So I thought, literally one day, I saw an advert for an audition for a model agency, and I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. It'll be fun. They won't be interested. I'll do it anyway. It'll brighten my day. So I did it. It turns out they loved me. They put me on their books. And then I thought, oh, this is interesting. And this is not what I expected. I wonder if other agencies might be interested. And I just kept on applying, and they kept on accepting.
That's so brilliant.
So I'm a bit naughty, so I'm with quite a few.
You know what? But listen, I'm just going to break off for 1 second. Anybody that's watching this, okay, and I know my following, if I can even call it a following, it's like my dog is watching, but anybody that's watching this video, just listen to what Anthony's saying. The part of the reason for doing these films with just anybody, like just people I know really at the moment, is just that we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to tell our story. But one of you out there watching this, and you've got something that you want to do, whether it's, I don't know, you want to be a naked artist model or whatever it may be, I don't know what it is. Take the step, even if you just treat it really lightly and think, just what the hell, I'm going to do it. Just do it and see what happens. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got one thing to say to you.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
No, I'm sorry, you carry on.
No, I was going to say, let's literally, as you said, it's kind of like grabbing any opportunity that comes your way, and because you have no idea how it will turn out, where it will take you in the next year. You've no idea. And even if you think, well, this is my objective, and you have an opportunity that seems totally unconnected with that, grab it, because you just don't know what will happen.
This is so brilliant. And you know what? I mean, I we're friends on Facebook, and I see Antony's pictures and photo shoots sometimes. And you've been to some really cool places, and you've done some fabulous photo shoots with some some really fantastic photographers and everything. But you do that. You do those kind of. They're kind of they're very fashionable, aren't they? You've got a certain look where you do these very fashionable over 50 kind of looks. And I mean, what's happened to you, it's been so great. And I think it's real testament to just do it. Get out. I know it's a cliche, but just take a step and do something, and you could completely change your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do feel that my whole life has changed, literally, because of it. I just didn't see myself in this way at all. I didn't see myself in a visual way at all. I've always been more sort of academic. I went to university. It was all about what I did with my head. I was never a sort of a selfie person, so I don't have lots of images of me.
Right.
This is so strange. And then I suddenly find myself doing a job which involves being in front of the camera.
Right. That's brilliant.
You suddenly realize, I have other skills that I've never tapped into before. But
that's so fantastic. And you know what, right there, what you said right there is true of virtually, I would say, pretty much everybody in that cafe. Everybody in this town I live in, everybody's got something, haven't they? You know what? We've all got a story to tell. But everybody's got that untapped skill. We're human beings. We're really, really tenacious and creative, and we're capable of so much. And it's just, if you want to settle for what you've got, that's absolutely fine. Who's anybody to criticize that? Nobody. You know what? That's absolutely. But if you've got a little spark in there and you want to do something, oh man, freaking get out there and do it. Just try. What have you got to lose? Absolutely.
Absolutely. And even if other people think, oh well, you're no good for, that's not you, it's not your path. And if you want to do it anyway. It's all part, you just don't know. Maybe it'll turn into something completely different. Maybe
Absolutely.
you won't become a model, maybe you'll become a photographer. You just don't know. But if you don't try it, you'll never know. I have many friends who started off modeling and they've turned into photographers or writing.
Whatever is your thing, you just do it. Listen, okay, I forgot. I was going to ask you. I've started asking this question, which is just makes me laugh a little bit. So I'm going to ask you something now, and at the end of the session, I'm just going to see if we can come back to it and see where we go. So, Anthony, I want you to tell me a story at the end of this interview. I want you to tell me a story about a song. Okay, a song that's meaningful to you in some way. What I'm fascinated about is that we're going to continue this interview, but somewhere in the back of your mind, you're going to be working out some kind of song that has some meaning, and you're going to be telling me a story about it in about 20 minutes, okay?
Oh my God, I warn you in advance, Frank. I am so bad at telling stories. I always forget the punchline.
Well, it doesn't have to be a story. It just something of significance about a song that in your life, okay? Something like that. Let's see where we go with it. Okay. So listen, when we talked, we had such a fascinating talk because I remember when we met, we ended up getting the train. I think we were going to maybe, I don't know, maybe back to Victoria or something. We ended up on the same train and we talked, and it was such a shame because we had to go in different directions. But we had a fascinating conversation, and it was a fascinating conversation. I want to take you back if I can, because obviously you've worked in teaching, and we've talked about that and this transition you made. Let's go back. Let's talk about your childhood, because we did talk about that for a little bit. I remember when we met that time. Can you just give us a sense of what I'm interested in is give us a sense of who you were, if you can. I know it's a story, but a sense of who you were, and maybe and we can only do this. We're only here for like half an hour or something, but a sense of kind of who that boy was, and then how that boy transitioned into the man we see today. Can you give us a kind of a synopsis of that?
Well, first of all, I would definitely say that my life has been almost like a series of books, more than one book, more than one chapter. So I am so different at different points in my life. So as a child, very shy, very retiring, very bookish. I was always very well behaved when I was at school, never got myself into any trouble. And I was very... Sorry, go on.
Where did you grow up, Anthony?
Oh, I actually grew up in Thornton Heath in South London.
Got it. Yeah.
So I went to local schools there. I went to 5 different schools just because I had parents who I think they decided that one school was better than another, so they moved me to that school, that kind of thing. They were very ambitious. I grew up very ambitious as well. I wanted to make sure that I passed all my exams. I was always kind of thinking, yep, I'm focused on going to university. That's what I did. I went to St Andrews. I studied theology.
Great.
And I discovered that it really suited me because I suppose I am quite sort of philosophical. In a sense, I'm quite analytical. So something like theology is actually perfect for me. I'm terrible at remembering facts. And you can get away with that to a certain extent with theology. My life, it's kind of, yes, happy, I think it was average, I think. Happy moments, not so great moments. It's a mixture, But I always had friends at school. I was never a part of any one clique. I was one of those people who skirted. I was friends with everyone,
Yeah, I
and
totally
but
get
not
that.
of any one group, but accepted by everyone. I
Yeah,
don't know, maybe that put me in good stead because it made me very adaptable, I guess.
that's
I
really,
mean, I
really,
suppose, I mean, I went
yeah,
to 5 schools. I mean, and I suppose, so, yeah, I mean, I suppose to go to 5 different schools, you
yeah,
have to be adaptable. And it
right.
wasn't like, I'm not talking about you go to primary school and then you go to the, what you call it, the main school, not the main school, the high school.
Comprehensive, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about literally, I dotted around totally different schools. So my friendship groups changed completely, and you just get on with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I
so
totally
that was me.
that that story really resonates with me because I think it's the same for me. You know, I wasn't one of the cool kids, but I kind of knew everybody. You know, I knew everybody, and I was very sporty, so I kind of had that kind of set. But I was, I would mix in. So that's really funny. That really resonates. That really resonates.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think that you just do what you have to do to just sort of get on with things, fit in, and I mean, I did. I just wanted to be. I didn't want to be part of anything. I didn't want to be part of the team, but I didn't want to be disliked. I moved from a very nice private school into a slightly rougher secondary school, and there was this fear. Oh my God, they're going to beat me up because of my accent, and of course they wouldn't recognize who I was, from primary school because I went to a different school, and that might be a problem.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that problem because I was just so nice to everyone. I think they just thought, oh, he's a bit quiet, but I've got no reason to. Plus, I was bigger than everyone else, so there was no
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
to bully me. And of course, it's difficult to bully someone if you don't know what they'll do if you do try to bully them. I have this
Right.
thing when I'm a bit nervous, I just stare. So they probably thought, oh, we'll leave him alone.
The stare of fear terrifies people.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And they probably thought, oh my God, ooh, he looks like he's really confident and he knows what he's about. And
You
inside,
know
I'm
what?
like, oh, please don't hit me, please don't hit me.
You know what though? That you just nailed the psychology of pretty much everybody at some point in their life. You know what I mean? The people that like look really confident, I bet 90% of them are actually crapping themselves most of the time. Do you know what I mean? They're really worried about being found out. That inside they're actually a wreck. You know, but they project it really well.
And the thing is, it wasn't even like it was like an intentional, like a front or anything like that. It was literally I just did it. It was just like normal reaction. I didn't
Yeah,
set
yeah.
out to sort of give people a different impression of myself. It was just kind of, anyway, it was any issues that I might have had. I was never bullied at school.
That's brilliant.
I've
That's so funny. And it's and again, that's the same for me. I managed to flit through school. I think I had like 2 fights, and they weren't even fights. They were kind of scuffles in the whole time. Yeah. I suppose I wasn't interesting enough to pick on. Do you know? It was,
I was work on the basis that that people who get not necessarily, but sometimes what happens is that if you are a threat to someone, then perhaps they might pick on you. I was never
yeah,
a threat to anyone.
I think
But obviously there are other issues.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, Anthony, when we get a certain way through these kind of whatever these things are, these conversations, I changed tack a little bit and just throw out some questions just to see where we go with them. And one of my favorite questions, because I've always been really, really interested in what makes people thrive.
Okay.
What is it when we're, you know, being our better selves kind of thing? So I'm going to say to you, you know, what's thriving to you, Anthony? What is it when you thrive? Have you got any feelings about that? You know.
What I mean, do you mean what it looks like or what motivates me?
Yeah, whatever, however you want to answer it. You know,
All
what I
right.
mean.
Okay.
Okay, let me break it down. If you're really thriving and you're really, you know, you're not even really thinking about it, I suppose. But if you have that little moment, you're flowing, you're in the flow, you're shining. What is that for you?
Uh, work. I must be the
Yeah,
strangest person in the world because I actually, I mean, I do set goals
yeah,
monthly, yearly, and when I hit them, I don't just kind of sit back and think, oh, great, I did exactly what I set out to do. I'm already thinking about the next step.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't actually think about sort of. I do review, yes, but I am super ambitious. It's true. I admit it, and I'm always
I love
thinking,
that.
okay, what could I do better? Or maybe I mean, I'm a great believer in aiming for the stars, and then maybe you'll get to the moon. And
Oh,
if you
brilliant.
get
Yeah,
to the stars, then go outside the universe. There are no limits for me, as far as I'm concerned. When someone says no, I think, yes, or how are we going to circumvent that? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not really taking in the no. I mean,
that's brilliant.
I have really thick skin. I mean, it's embarrassingly thick.
I love that. That's just fantastic. Listen, again, another little cone of wisdom there. Like, you know, when you hear a no, if you don't want the no, then just fuck the no off and just say yes to yourself. Do you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. It just means absolutely nothing to me.
That's
And there's
fun.
other people to ask. Or, for me, it's about finding the person who's going to say yes.
I love that.
That's what I'm interested in. Just all those people who say, yeah, we want to work with you, we want you, rather than the people who, you're never going to, you might change someone's opinion about
Yeah,
if they think no or if they don't want to work with you. Yeah, you might change their opinion.
yeah,
But you could put all of that energy into someone who's desperate to work with you. You just have to find
absolutely.
them.
Absolutely. I love that.
That's what
Love
I
that.
do. I'm just out there finding those people and making sure that I'm available so that they can find me as well.
Yeah. You know what? It's fascinating because I've asked this question to a lot of people, and obviously there's going to be a whole range of different answers, but there does seem to be a ballpark of things, you know. And I think what you've said is really, to me, it's really important. It's just being. It's not kind of being busy for the sake of it, but it's just. I think humans need to be directed into something, not necessarily by somebody else, but have a focus and get involved in it. And you know what? It makes me think of some of early Marx. You know, Marx wrote in some of his early writings before Capital and all the later stuff. He wrote some fantastic stuff about what it was to be human. And Marx's species being was all about like how you worked and being, you know, it was you produced the stuff you needed in your life, and that was what he saw as being connected to your life. Do you know what I mean? Because you were focused on something, and the produce that what you produced ended up serving you, whether you built yourself a table or whatever it was. I mean, it's 200 years ago, but that's always stuck with me. Do you know what I mean? That kind of like that focus and being involved in something that you can actually put your creative energy into, and I love that. I just think that's really,
Well, yeah, but to be honest with you, the other side of it is that I really didn't have a safety net. So if this didn't succeed for me, I really wasn't sure what else I was going to do.
wow, that's interesting.
I was
Yeah,
really jumping into the deep end. Um,
wow,
I mean, but I think sometimes, even though the deep end can be very scary, you really don't know whether you're going to be able to swim. You just have to
yeah,
go with it. I have this thing where if you're scared of doing something, close your eyes and do it
love it. That's so good. That's brilliant. Okay, listen, I've got another question for you.
anyway. Uh-huh.
Antony,
Uh-huh.
what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Oh my God, do we have a higher purpose? I don't know. Maybe we do. I'm not sure. I mean, I think that we are here to contribute to society, change, contribute to that change whenever that is required, is necessary. Society only exists when there is the capacity to change, or whether when change. I mean, what happened? I mean, I grew up in the '60s, and
Yeah,
'60s society then was so different the way it is now. But I do think that I have something that I can bring to the table, and I'm trying to do it
I
in
love
what
that.
I'm doing. And for me, it's about changing people's perceptions. I mean, my perception, I admit it, if you were 50 when I was a child, you are old, ancient,
It's so
and
true.
anyone and you know, for me, anyone with any white in their hair, whether it be beard or head or hair, oh my God, you're ancient, you know. And now that I have that white, I'm realizing that actually I don't feel old at all.
That is
And
brilliant.
I, yes,
Absolutely
I've
love it.
changed my perception, but I just do see a lot of people who maybe think that, maybe mistakenly think that they think I'm old and I think I'm old. And that is totally wrong. If
I
they think
love
I'm
that.
old, then they're wrong. I'm right. I'm very much young.
I love
What if
that.
I don't know? I mean, you could be 70 years young. I mean, we have so many examples of older people who are just amazing, stunning, really active. One of the reasons why I do dance is because, yeah, I think sometimes it's very unexpected. But I do it because I really enjoy it, and I choose to do it, and I want
Brilliant.
to do it. And,
Fantastic.
you know, and of course, you're going to get people who say, oh, well, you know, isn't that a little bit like mutton dressed up as that? Or maybe that's sort of not quite, you know, appropriate for your age. Well, you know, uh, that's just your opinion. It's only your opinion. And there are so many people of my age who used to go clubbing in the 80s, in the 90s, want to. They still want to go. They don't just sit in front of watching EastEnders with a mug of cocoa. They want to be out there. They want to be active. Many of them are active. They're still doing
Absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely. You know what?
Like,
You know
oh
what?
God,
My hope for some of these films, as I build up more and more of these short interviews, is that, you know, I think one of the things that's coming through is that you know, one of the things that it's been fascinating for me is that it's made me think about the relationship that I've got with all the people I talk to. You know, like someone like
okay.
you, that we met and we had a brilliant conversation. That's all we know. That's, you know what I mean. That's all it is. As opposed to say my wife or my close friends. And it's made me think like, wow, that, you know, how you know each people, but also the judgments and the stories you have about different people. And then you have a conversation like this, and you
Mm,
just see beneath that surface, and you go, oh my God, they are really passionate about this thing. They answered that question like this. That's amazing. And you know what I mean? It's a kind of, I suppose it's a link to what you were just saying there. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you can look at someone and go, you know, it's like, I haven't really got time at the moment because you're an old person and I'm not really interested. And you'll find that person actually has got a story that will blow your mind because they did something when they were 25 that you would never do in your life. I don't know, I'm just making it up, but you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's something
absolutely.
like that. It's, you know,
Absolutely true. Or it's certainly in my case. I mean, yeah, you occasionally you kind of, you know, you occasionally meet a younger person who kind of thinks, oh well, you know, you're really not in my friendship group, but we'll have absolutely nothing in common. And then you end up on the same photo shoot. That's very funny. You know, you're the same magazine. Yeah.
I
Okay.
love it. Next question for you. This is the first time I've asked this, so I don't know how this is going to go. But Anthony, does God play dice?
Uh, oh gosh, now that's a difficult question. I don't know. Because, I mean, oh my God, you just tapped into my whole kind of theological background. Because because, well, first of all, it completely challenges whether there is such a thing as fate. And also, you have to believe in that whole concept of there being a higher being, whoever your God is, or whether you are someone who believes that God is within you. I don't know, maybe. But but to deal with the issue of fate, I do I believe in fate? I I don't know. I suppose I'm more focused on the sort of trying to achieve what I want to achieve and grabbing opportunities, and whether
Right.
fate comes into it. I don't think it's just given or preordained or sort of set out for me.
Yeah.
I believe that I'm literally carving it out for myself. And if
Right.
there is a little bit of help in there, fine, great, I'll grab that too. Um, but is there a little bit of God in me? Oh yeah, maybe there's a higher purpose. Maybe there's something in there that is allowing me to tap into things that I didn't realize was there. And
Right.
maybe that is part of the definition of what God is.
I
Maybe.
love that. That's great. That's absolutely great. Okay, just a couple more. So listen, I've been working on this secretly. I haven't told many people about it, but I've actually been working on a little time machine, and I
A
can let
time
you
was there?
borrow a time machine. I have a little time machine here, and I can let you
Okay.
have it, but I can only let you have it for 5 minutes. And I'm going to let you go back and see yourself when you were a child. What are you going to say to Anthony as a teenager?
Oh my gosh. Oh wow, gosh, that is.
You've got to be concise because you haven't got it for long. So what are you going to tell him?
Don't worry, it'll all come out right in the end.
I love that. That's so fantastic. That's just awesome. Awesome.
That's
Just to
crazy.
listen to that. Listen, if you're listening and you've clicked on my old face and thought, what's this guy talking about? And then you've been blown away by this other guy on here called Antony Fitzgerald. Listen to what he just said. If you're about 20 and you got issues, you know what? Sort them out, do what you need to do, but you're probably going to be all right. There's
Yeah,
probably
I
a
mean,
lot more shit coming down the road.
well, probably, but you know what? Some of the things that we panic about. I mean, I remember as a child, and I think, oh, I was always worried about stuff, and and then 10 years later, you realize, oh, it really isn't all that. It really isn't. It really, just get things into perspective. There's, well, first of all, there's very little that I've done that I regret.
Right.
And if I did it, I probably meant it. It's true. It's true. I mean, I don't think I did many bad things. I don't think so. I'm a pretty good person. But
That's good.
I have to admit, if I did do some bad thing, I probably meant it. I'm not perfect. I'll own
Yeah,
up
who
to that
is?
one.
Who is? Okay, listen, the final one. So I don't know if you remembered about 20 minutes ago, I asked you about a song. Has your brain been working?
Ooh, yes, consciously. Oh my God! Well, this is a weird one
Go
because
for it.
it's a song, and I'm thinking not many people will know it. It's a house tune, so it's a club tune, but it's
Brilliant.
so ambient but funky at the same time. It's what I would call ambient house. And it's a song, it just captured my imagination. And I always imagine that it's the kind of song you want to dance to with something really flowing in the wind on top of a roof. And literally with the skyline of London. And
Brilliant.
I recently had that I recently had that opportunity to do exactly that to that song.
Fantastic.
I was on a rooftop dancing to that song in my tight leather trousers and my long flowing white coat, nothing else. And it was the most liberating thing I think I've ever done. And and at that stage, I really thought, oh my God, I'm 53. I'm 53, and I never, ever thought I would be doing this. That was a milestone for me.
That's superb. That's a brilliant, brilliant way to end this conversation. I wish I could talk to you for longer, Anthony. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's been a pleasure.
Listen, if you're ever down in Whitstable, come and spend some time with the family. We would love to have you. Come and have some fish and chips with us or something. We'll take you down the beach, and just keep shining, mate, because that's what you do. You completely shine, and I know that when people shine, they lighten up everybody else around them as well. So just keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Oh, thank you. No, that's so kind. Thank you. That's such good feedback. I really appreciate it. It's so good, and I've had so many people, who've said such wonderful things to me. It's just really inspiring. But yes, I do intend to keep going and do more.
Just keep going, buddy.
I've just started.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Okay, pleasure.
Speak to you soon, buddy. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
all the best.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye. You have to tell me what to do.